that your life happens in these 5-second windows. That in the most profound part of your story that would change any of our lives is when he called his wife and she didn't answer, and then make that sound for me. Your mind went, yep. That happens in 5 seconds flat.
Yep.
Right? You can't control whether or not your spouse picks up the phone. The feelings that rise up, whether it's jealousy or anger or frustration, totally normal and natural. What you do next is a choice. And so for you, there's going to be 2 things that I want you to be thinking about as we go through all of the curriculum here, is I want you to be thinking about, number 1, the self-control mentally, so you don't go down that tunnel. And number 2, what is missing in my craft and my skills as a photographer so that I feel that I am worthy of $4,000? Look, if you need a fancy camera because that's what a $4,000 photographer has, so be it. But if you're actually gathering and collecting equipment and collecting certifications as a way to hide and not have to do it, that's self-doubt. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Give him a round of applause. Awesome. All right. Oh, you got to hold on. Oh, you got to give it back. Okay, great. Sorry, I'm like, okay, anybody in the back? Let's go in the back. Somebody in the back. Yes.
I'm living a very duplicitous life right now.
What does that mean?
I'm a healer by training, and that's really what I want to be. And I work for an auto broker, which I also have fun and I love my job, but
so you're healing car loan situations, and then you're healing like him. I'm just kidding.
I like to believe that I bring my ability to listen to people, to really listen to the work that I do.
I bet you do.
However,
I bet you do that, not like I bet you want to be doing that. I bet you do. Yeah.
However, it's not who I am.
Okay.
And I had a healing practice for a long time, which I can very much relate to what Hector was saying. And the coaching that you gave him is very true for my experience with that.
What happened?
Well, I met someone, I got into a relationship, and that person didn't approve of me and what I was doing, and so I let that, and so I burned my business to the ground, basically.
Ouch.
Yeah.
And where's that relationship now?
Over.
Okay, good.
Surprising, right?
So what did you learn from that relationship? Because the thing that's interesting is 7 years ago, I signed a talk show deal with ABC. And I had a call-in radio show with Sirius. And it didn't lead to the thing that I thought was going to happen. It kind of, like, my career totally fizzled out. And in looking back, I realized it happened because I wasn't ready. It happened because I think that, our soul and our lives kind of work on levels, and that there are lessons at every level. And if you're stubborn, if you're not ready, if you can't see the lesson at this level, and by the way, what is the lesson you need to learn? It's all the stuff you struggle with. Yeah. Jealousy, or smallness, or hiding. Until you actually complete the level at the lessons at the level that you're on, you're not going to the next level. And so for me, it kind of comes back to that story of me being in the hotel last night and going, holy cow, 6 years later, I'm actually ready. Like, I got everything that I needed in order to step into the things that I really want to do with control and power and a sense of purpose. And so what is it that you needed to learn if we look at today as the next chapter?
Well, I think all of that's true. Looking back at what I wanted to create, I just kind of like shake my head and laugh a little bit. I'm like, I wasn't ready. The kind of person that I really needed to be I wasn't her back then. And what's coming up now, today, being here, I mean, everything you've said, this is definitely another chapter that's opening. And I'm like, oh, this is really different. Maybe now I'm ready. Maybe the whole story about the relationship and why it happened really, maybe all of that's not even true, and maybe it doesn't matter why, but maybe I just wasn't ready.
Well, here's another twist on it. So you could use what happened in that relationship as a story to disempower yourself, or you could use the story in that relationship as a way to propel you into the next chapter. Because the fact is, if you get involved in a relationship and it shrinks you, and you stop doing the things that make you you, and that fulfill you, and that expand your soul, or that make you the kind of person that you're really proud of, that's obviously a terrible relationship. But more importantly, there's something about your own real confidence that you needed to figure out.
Yep.
And in order for your business and your art and your whatever you create to go to that next level, the first person you have to believe in is you, because it goes back to the unique challenge of being a creative. You're putting yourself out there. You know, when you're doing auto loans or, you know, whatever, I don't even know what you do.
We're a broker.
When you're brokering deals, how you behave reflects you, but the work itself doesn't necessarily. When you're doing what all of you do, this is deeply personal, which means every kind of pushback, every kind of anything is like hits you at the foundation, which is why these self-monitoring skills are so important. It does not surprise me that you would fly off the handle if you've got angst built up because you're not where you want to be. Excellent. Okay, cool.